invest, but really focusing on entrepreneurship as a way to earn more money that you can then go put in investments where compounding actually has a bigger effect. Hey everyone. So I just finished Unscripted. It's a book by MJ DeMarco, and it's talking about entrepreneurship specifically. So I've read a lot of books that are like this. It's kind of similar. I would almost categorize it within the like personal finance type category, entrepreneurship, 4-hour work weeky type book. I just finished it. It was interesting. There's a few key takeaways that I thought were really interesting, and there's a couple of things that actually made me question, which I've read a lot of these things and seen a lot of different perspectives, so I thought that was interesting. So a couple of things. I think the first thing to note is that this guy's a little abrasive, so I would put him in the Gary V kind of cursey, F this, F that type of writer. So if you're not into that, don't read this simply because of that. But there are some interesting things once you get past kind of that obnoxiousness that I think are interesting. So the one thing that I really agree with is it talks a lot about autonomy, and that ultimately that's what people are really shooting for, and that's what you want to aim for, and that's what entrepreneurship really allows is autonomy. Autonomy over your time. And so one of the key facets that he talks about that's interesting is instead of thinking about money, which has all these connotations with it, right? We all kind of have biases. Either, we kind of have it either built up or on a pedestal of like what that represents. But taking that away, and that ultimately in a capitalist society, money is a representation of value, right? So no matter what you do, whatever your job is, you don't have to barter for goods, right? It's a value coupon that you can go use to go trade for something else. So thinking of it that way instead of money that has all these connotations, thinking about earning and spending as more of your trading value coupons instead of money. So it's an interesting thing to think about, to try to get out the negative inherent biases that we sometimes have about money. Another interesting thing, which he attacks Warren Buffett, which if you know anything about me, I like Warren Buffett a lot. So he kind of craps all over Warren Buffett, which, but he did bring up something that was interesting, and I haven't really processed where I fall on what my thoughts are, but he brought up some interesting points, because pretty much every financial philosophy talks about compounding interest and the power of compounding interest. And if you've ever seen it, it's not a linear graph up and to the right. It is a very much a gradual slope, and then jumps up at the end. And he points out that if you live by the philosophy that you're going to get rich through compound interest, you will live poor and die rich, which is an interesting concept. So he talks about compound interest and that being a tool, but not until you have, not the way that you should try to earn all your money, right? You shouldn't try to get wealthy through compounding interest, because you'll be 90 or 100 and whatever and dead by the time that you hit that status. But a lot of what he's talking about is similar to what most financial literacy type books talk about, which is making sure that you're controlling spending, you're disciplined, not that you don't not spend money on your latte or whatever it is, but that you are smart about the bigger expenditures and where you invest. But really focusing on entrepreneurship as a way to earn more money that you can then go put in investments where compounding actually has a bigger effect. Right. So his whole thing with Warren Buffett is, if you look at him, like, he made money through investing actively, trading in the stock market, and being activist investors, taking over companies, getting ownership in total companies, and saying that even though he preaches compounding interest, is very much an active entrepreneur, which you can't disagree with that, right? That's pretty much how Warren Buffett has operated and Berkshire Hathaway has operated. The last piece that I think is really interesting and makes a lot of sense is that no matter what when you're thinking about entrepreneurship, the big thing that he talks about is the productocracy, is what he calls it. I think in other circles it's been called kind of the flywheel in business. There's a lot of different types of terms for it, but essentially it's creating a product that is inherently valuable to the people that are using it, and they're going to spread it word of mouth. The most powerful tool that a marketer and advertiser has is word of mouth, right? That's why influencers have become such a big thing on Instagram, and that whole movement has happened is because we value other people's opinions, right? If my mom or dad tells me, hey, X, Y, and Z is really cool, you should go check it out, I'm much more likely to do it than if I see an advertisement about it. So, and I think that's true, right? When you get recommendations from friends about what restaurant you should go do, or even now on Facebook, people ask, hey, I'm traveling here, like, what are recommendations? We listen to that over what we can go find on TripAdvisor. But TripAdvisor is still better than, the alternative of just looking online and hoping that we find something, or walking around and finding something. So, the whole idea of a productocracy is when you create a business, you want your product, service, whatever it is, to have that sort of virality where it becomes a feedback loop where your one customer goes and tells other customers, and your channels all combine to help you grow and sell your business, sell your product and service. So I think that is pretty valuable, but interesting book. First part is like, your job sucks, life sucks, blah, 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 all that stuff, try to get you motivated. And then it jumps into some valuable stuff from there. But yeah, if you're interested, check it out, Unscripted. Otherwise, you got some of the key takeaways, and just go apply it. But thanks for watching, and let me know what your thoughts are. Share, comment, like, tweet, whatever. Thanks. Have a good one, guys.